can't do that. No, that's not for people like me. No, I won't. No, I w- no. How about reframing it? How about what if I could? So I've just been listening to a podcast um, by Beth Treadle from Another Door, um, and really interesting to hear talk about the difference between imposter syndrome and self-doubt. I'll tag the person being interviewed in this video because I can't remember your name. I apologise. But lots of people talk about imposter syndrome. Not feeling worthy, not feeling they're able to do the role that they maybe are destined to do, but they don't think that they have the skills or capacity or attributes to do that, or maybe set up on their own. They just think, I don't belong. And self-doubt, which is kind of, do you worry about some of your abilities? Is it's not about your identity, but it's about how you think you come across, etc. And comparison. So there's a quote that I read a few years ago. There's a couple of variations on this, but the one by Mark Twain that I really like is "Comparison is the death of joy." Um, Many years ago, when I was running, I remember running a particular race with some good friends of mine, and there were three of us running it, and the other two were running up ahead for most of the race, and I was lagging behind. I started to engage in self-doubt. I started to think, why am I here? I can't do this. I'd run further than that distance before, but I really started to struggle with that, and mentally beat myself up for a good couple of hours of that race. And then towards the end, I regained that confidence, and kind of took a bit of time to reset and think to myself, I'm following my own path. It's really important not to compare myself to other people, and that's something that's really stood me in good stead ever since. Am I the best version of myself? Uh, Forget about other people, forget about the riches they have, forget about the life it looks like they're living. A lot of people are living lives which look amazing, and they are deep down, they are in despair. They don't like what they're doing. Equally as other people who are absolutely joyous about what they do, and you might not necessarily think it. You might think that they're very humble. You might think that they don't have a particularly high status job. Actually, they don't care. They found their calling. They found their vocation. So where am I going with this? Supposed to be a short video again, so it'll be shorter than the last one. Find your own path. Take time to think about what you do. In my last video, the redundancy, art of why redundancy, talked about lots of aspects of that. Talked about the opportunities that exist when we're faced with a challenge like that. I'm still working through that. I'm looking at various options. I've had some really good conversations with people. People in my network have been very kind, and I've got more conversations coming up just to pick their brains about aspects of what they do, some of the opportunities and challenges that they faced, and to learn from other people. But equally, I'm starting to get more bold. Um, you know, I I've got a calling. My calling is to help people to be better every day than they were yesterday, and even better tomorrow. Um, and yeah, I'm getting there. It's taking shape. Um, believe in yourselves, people. Um, Learn from others. Um, take risks. Fail. Win or learn. This is what this is all about. Some of my best learnings have been through failure. For example, I failed at my third 100-mile race. I know 100-mile running sounds daft, but there are lots of people that do it, believe you me. I failed at that one. End of the day, I wasn't well prepared enough. I'd got a bit complacent. There were other things going on in my life as well. But I took it on the chin. I accepted responsibility. I was not good enough. I stood back. I reset. I I, I completely overhauled my training. Started again, and then last year in 2019, I ran 4 100-mile races, finished them all, got the Grand Slam, and that was a massive achievement for me. I would never have thought years ago that that was something that I would do. Hats off to my great friend, now sadly departed, Mark Thornberry. I'll put a link to his fundraising in the description. Mark was a really good friend of mine. He was diagnosed with terminal liver cancer in 2017, given 6 to 9 months to live, and passed away in June 2020. So he lived for 3 years, raised £100,000 for King's College Hospital for liver cancer research. An absolute humble gentleman, superstar. Had a real impact on people. Anyway, believe in yourselves. Onwards, win or learn, people.